Welcome to Viben Now, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you. Good morning and welcome to Soulshine. Let us begin. It is a gorgeous Sunday morning here with sunshine and blue skies and so much joy bubbling up inside of me. And I am so happy to be with all of you. So let's see where the adventure takes us today. All right, go ahead and settle into your seat. Get in touch with your breath. Yep, so slow the pace down and see if you can align your breathing with a really steady rhythm that you can tune into. So if you're faster than what feels comfortable, go ahead and do a big inhale in through the nose and then a long, slow exhale out through the mouth. Right, so we'll do a couple together. So go ahead and breathe in and then out. Yeah, go ahead and do another one. So breathe in and out. Good, and what you'll notice as you do the long, slow exhale is it gives you a dropping into your body, like you actually can come down into your physical space using the breath sort of like an elevator, like to lower yourself down into this moment. For many of us, we are mental creatures, right? So we have a lot of activity in our brains or spiritual beings connected to source, and so we feel like we're even higher than the mind, right? We're connected above. And a lot of the first steps in meditation in order to come into your own space and be still and be present, you have to drop your energy lower than the mind. You have to bring it down to the heart space or down to the root. And breath is the easiest, I think, vehicle or tool in order to help us do that. And so the more aware you become of your breath, the more you partner with it, and then you can feel when your breathing is too fast or I want to say too slow, but I don't know that we ever really have our breath be too slow. It's mostly too fast. And so if you can slow it down and drop yourself into the present moment, then your breath becomes a powerful partner, right? You're actually working with your body. You're working with your energy system instead of resisting or fighting against it. Yeah, so just notice the pace of your breathing right now and check in with yourself. Does it feel comfortable? Do I need to slow it down even more? Right, can I feel that I am here, fully arrived on this call? There you go. Yeah, and often when we're afraid or we feel intensity of emotions, often we catch our breath, right? That's the phrase, you catch your breath. It's like you hold it to give yourself some time or space to adjust to whatever you're afraid of or worried about. And so when you catch your breath and you suck it in and you hold it inside of yourself, it's resistance within your body. So that long, slow exhale, it's not only dropping you into this moment, it's also releasing any stuck places where you've been perhaps holding your breath or catching your breath. And so that long, slow exhale just starts to move some of that out. Yeah, good. Good. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and pull all of your energy and attention into your body. So there's lots of ways to do it. For today, we'll use a magnet. So if you imagine that the core of your body, if you go from perhaps your neck down to your hip bones, and just imagine that whole cavity becomes magnetic, and it sends out a signal that is just your signal, right? It's your soul's signal. And there's a beat or a rhythm or a pulse that goes out, and it attracts, it sends a signal to all of the places where you've been putting your attention on the way to the call. So it may have been events from the weekend, right, that you haven't quite completed or processed, or you were having so much fun you're still back in the joy of that, right? There's more joy coming, lots more joy. So see if you can feel as you send out this pulse from the center of your body that all of the parts of you that are somewhere besides right here can feel or sense that there's a calling home that is happening. Right? It's a welcoming back of all of the parts of you that live life, that are in relationship, that work and play and laugh and cry and sing and dance, right? All of those parts of you, when you're engaging in the world, you leave a little bit of your vibration, perhaps that's a good way to put it. You leave a little of your vibration in all of those places or spaces. And so in this moment, as you turn up your magnetic pulse inside of your body, and you can send out your signal clearer and clearer, those pieces of your attention or love or energy can start to be magnetized back into your physical body. Yeah, so just notice, use your body as a tool, and notice as energy comes back in how it feels in your body. Right? It's a good signal of how open you are to receiving. So as you sit here and you feel perhaps the parts of you that were in activities yesterday and busy and running and lots happening, right? Lots of go, 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 do, do, do for most people on the weekend. So if you can gather with this magnetic pulse in the center of you, if you can gather all of those parts of your energy and feel them coming back into this moment, this body, right here, notice how your body reacts. So is your body welcoming all of that back and like, yes, we're all here, right? All of our energy is arriving back into our body and it feels so good. Or are you resisting that and perhaps pushing some of that energy away? So just notice in your body, is there a contraction or an expansion? Is there a sigh of like comfort and relief as your energy comes back? Or is it a sigh of, I can't believe you're coming back in. There isn't space for you. There's too much to do. Go pay attention to all of those other things. Right? So notice your receiving of yourself and how willing you are to do that. No judgment, right? It's about awareness, because once you're aware, you can start to shift patterns. So feel in your body like, yeah, am I comfortable? Am I comfortable receiving my own energy back in, or am I pushing it away? And if you find that you're pushing it away, what can shift inside of you that would allow your energy to then slide into place and arrive in? So perhaps Perhaps you need more grounding. Perhaps you need to feel your feet on the floor and let your feet become really heavy and dense and magnetic so that some of the energy coming into your physical chest cavity area can start to slide down your legs to your feet. And so then it doesn't feel as intense, perhaps, when energy comes back in. Perhaps as the energy is coming back to you, there's a judgment about what you did or didn't do the day before, how you measured up. Your self-evaluation is running this little program inside of you that's telling you how you aren't doing it right, you aren't enough, you aren't whatever the stories are that our minds tell us. Right? So if that's the case, if you're feeling that as your energy comes back into you, what you can do is drop your awareness a little lower to your heart. Instead of the mind that's still running some of that, drop it to your heart. There you go. And then you can feel from your heart, you wanted that energy doing all of those things because it's creating experiences for you and it's teaching you more love or it's teaching you more compassion or more expansion. Right? So none of it could be wrong. So from your heart space, as your energy comes back into your body, you can just love it. You can just be in gratitude for it. Yeah, see if that helps shift the vibration for you. Yep, and then use your breath. Use your breath to run all of that parts of you, the energy of you, down lower into your body. And then turn the magnetic pulse up even louder. So can we get, let's say, 60% of your energy, your attention back into you in this moment? Use your breath. Drop the energy lower into your body. So you can start filling up from your feet all the way up your legs, all the way into your hip bones, right? You can feel, there you go, like the solidness of your physical body as energy arrives back in. Okay, go ahead and turn up the magnetic pulse of your soul system, your soul vibration. And let's invite 80% of your energy to come all the way back into your body. Use your breath, right? Send it lower. There you go. All right, and this may be as far as you want to take it, or you might want to go all the way, let's say, to 90 or 95%. You can go all the way to 100, but that's intense. So 80 might be perfect for you. 80 might be a huge stretch. So just be comfortable. Use your body to feel if this is enough or if you want to go a little further. There's no expectation. If you feel you want to go further, go ahead and pull 90, 95% of your energy, your attention back into your physical body. Yep. And you can feel how it's filled up now so much more, right? So you may not be able to push energy down your legs. You may not be able to push energy further down into your core of your body because it's full. So if that's the case, just imagine you can fill yourself up to your neck, to your head. You can run energy out your arms. Yep, and then you can breathe a little easier. Good. And what you may feel, and it depends on how comfortable you are with this practice or how often you do it, but you may feel like a buzz in your body, a humming of your vibration. It's sort of like when you have one bee versus a swarm of bees. You know, the one bee makes a little noise, but when you feel all of the bees moving together, they make this really loud noise that is tangible. It's the same with energy. It's a vibration, just like bees making noise is a vibration. So when all of your vibration comes back into your body, there's a firing up, a synergy, a waking up of all the cylinders, and it becomes more and more tangible, right? You can feel energy buzzing through your body when all of you arrives back in your body. So my suggestion is to make that a daily practice, right? If you do nothing else between soulshine calls, do that pulling of yourself back in so you can feel your own solidness, your own strength, your own vibration. And the more you feel that, the clearer that it becomes, the more you start to align with your purpose in life, with your walk in life, with your gifts, right? So it's a practice. It's like brushing your teeth. My son needs to get braces soon, and the dentist was like, not until he gets in the practice of brushing his teeth more often, because it's not a good routine yet, and he's just going to have his teeth ruined if we put braces and he's not taking care of the teeth around them, right? So you have to have this practice in your life, and then you start to see the results, and then the shifts can happen more and more quickly. Good. All right. So you might need to stretch or wiggle, right? Let your body acclimate to all of this energy of you in you. Yeah. And what I noticed for myself is there's such a joy when I feel me. You know, when my energy is all back in here, there is such a sense of deep knowing and satisfaction, right? And so that brings me joy. So perhaps that can be one of your validations for yourself, or a check mark, right? It's like, what are the signs that I feel for myself when I know I've pulled my energy in, when I know I'm really present and I'm fully alive? There's a hum, a vibration in my body. What does that feel like? What is my face doing? What are my eyes doing, right? Like, how am I manifesting or showing to the world that all of this energy is back in me? And so that becomes like a baseline or a check mark, and you'll know when you feel that this is becoming more and more and more of a practice. Good. All right, I didn't think we were going to cover that in such depth, but apparently we were. All right, so centered, we're in, right? Let's go ahead and connect into the earth. So breath, connect with your breath. Good, and then go all the way down to your feet. So we've filled our bodies up with ourselves from the feet up, right? So as you plant your feet on the floor, or if you're sitting cross-legged, you can use your ankle bones that are touching the floor. If you're laying in bed, you can use your heels. Whatever part of your feet is the most directly connected to the ground, you want to visualize through that place. So for me, I'm sitting in a chair, and my feet are firmly planted. And so I just kind of wiggle my toes in a little deeper into the carpet. And then I just imagine that I can open up the bottoms of my feet, and I can feel how I am rooting in with the earth. So I'm growing roots from the bottom of my feet down into the dirt underneath my house. So just feel for yourself how much of a distance is that. Right? So you might need to have more roots or wider roots that go down into the dirt. Yeah, and I feel how it can be a little tentative, you know, like we get the roots there and then we're just sort of testing, like poking at the tops of the earth to make sure that there's no booby traps or no big surprises, right? So a lot of this energy work, this visualization, meditation, it's about trust, right? It's about trusting that you are creating it because you're the one seeing it and visualizing and designing it in your mind, in your heart. And so as you connect into the earth, there's trust that the earth is willing to support you and is waiting to have you send roots down and in to ground your body. Yeah, so just feel, what if the roots go into the dirt? We'll do a foot, just a foot down. right? It's easy to dig a hole for a feet if you're planting, or for 1 foot if you're planting a new tree or a bush, right? 1 foot down is not super big. So see if you can visualize that your feet go down with roots, 1 foot into the dirt. And then just check it, just see how it feels. So catch your breath or slow down your breath. Yep. Notice if anything bad has happened or if there's any resistance that's showing up in your body. Send breath all the way down to that resistance. Yep, and imagine the breath can just expand the space around it so that it can slowly expand back out from the contraction. Good. And then perhaps you can feel at the bottoms of your feet the tingle, the aliveness that roots feel when they actually hit the earth, right? There's room for them to stretch, and there's room for them to wiggle out and to find the nutrients, right? And so suddenly there becomes this partnership. There was once this bush in a pot that you buy at a store, and there was this dirt on the ground at your home, and then you bring the two together, and you create the container. You dig the hole for that plant to go into the ground, and then the two can start to connect, support each other, grow. Right? The nutrients of the earth support the roots, and the roots dig in and anchor the earth more firmly. So it's the same exact feeling for you and the earth. You can absolutely stay in a pot and never have to root in, never ground. Many people do. The majority of people do. Or you can try it and play with it and allow yourself to be supported. Yeah, so if you want to play a little further, imagine you can drop those roots 10 feet into the ground. And they don't have to go straight down. They can go diagonal, sideways. They can kind of curve all around like tree roots would actually do. There you go, good. And notice what's happening in your legs as your roots go deeper. So you might feel, again, that humming, that vibration in your body. Or you might feel just a tug, like your feet are getting heavier and heavier, even though you're not physically doing anything, because you're visualizing it. And the roots are going deeper. It almost tugs at your whole body and pulls it a little lower. This feels relevant. I was at a Kundalini yoga class last week, and this instructor was just so beautiful, just a sweet, sweet woman with so much experience. And she sat down next to me, and she was kind of giving me some pointers because I was new to the class. And she said, when you visualize things happening in this yoga class, what you'll find is that you don't even have to physically do the exercises. So she said if your body gets tired, you can stop at whatever repetition you're tired at, and you can close your eyes and you can just get centered and just visualize your body doing the exercises, and you're going to get as much benefit as if you were physically doing them. And I looked at her because I know that, right? But it was so fun to see her say that to me. And I kind of looked at her, and she goes, well, there's lots of studies. You know, you can go to the Cleveland Clinic, and there's all kinds of research that proves it. And I just had to laugh. I'm like, no, I believe you. I just love that you're reflecting that back to me. Right? So I share that with you as validation from another source, and then obviously all the science that she was referring to behind that. The visualization is such an important process. And so as you visualize the roots from the bottom of your feet going 10 feet into the earth, that's exactly what happens energetically. Right? Just as the power of the mind can loop us so easily, can spin us out. You know, many of my friends and my clients say that, I'm spinning out, because the mind keeps us so busy. You can harness the power of the mind by visualizing, by imagining that you're seeing this thing happen, and it's giving the energy a pathway to follow. So let's go even further if you want. Imagine you can visualize your roots going 1,000 feet down into the earth. Yeah, and why would they want to go 1,000 feet down? Because the deeper into the earth that you can ground and root, the more quiet there is, the more spaciousness you will feel, because there's less mental energy running around in that space, so it's actually quieter. The more nutrients there are for our physical bodies. So when you imagine growing roots down from your feet and you go 1,000 feet into the earth, the nutrients that haven't been tapped yet, that haven't been accessed, can go into your energetic roots and then come up and nourish your body. The other thing that's amazing about this grounding is if you can feel that your roots are 1,000 feet down. So go ahead and feel. Yep, and you can go slow if that's way deeper than you've ever visualized your roots. Or if you want to go a mile down, if you want to go even further, feel free to do that. If it's deeper than you've normally felt, you might just need a minute or two to let the roots get down there and for your body to register that much support. Good, and then what you can feel or allow for yourself is a letting go of some of the stories, some of the junk, some of the heaviness. So what that can feel like, if you're visualizing it perhaps, what it can look like is that anything that feels shadowy or heavy, or give it a color, right? Kind of scan your body and just imagine anything I want to move out of here that doesn't feel great to me is going to be red, bright red, like the red pen that the teachers would use when you got an F, right? I don't think I ever got an F, but a D. I definitely got a D before. But as you visualize that going down, that's so funny. That's so funny. All right, so as you visualize that energy, bright red, going all the way down through your body to your feet, and then you can feel the 1,000 or mile deep roots are going to start suctioning from the bottoms of your feet anything that was red, that wanted to move. So it might just be a trickle, it might be a huge gush of red that comes flying at your feet into the earth. The other amazing thing that I was mentioning about being so far down in the earth is the junk that we're handing over dissipates or dissolves more and more the deeper into the earth we go. Right? It's like pesticides. You know, if we spray pesticides on the surface of the soil, the pesticides will go to a certain depth, and then the soil is contaminated to that point. If we go lower than that, if we can go underneath the pesticides, the soil is still clear. And for humans to partner with the earth, you know, our job is to release the energies that aren't serving into the earth so it can be recycled and returned back as nourishing energy, supportive, purifying energy coming back into the body. I don't know if any of you watch Kai Pacha. He's an astrologer that is just brilliant at his work, and he has called this year, 2016, he says it over and over, this is the year of purification, right? The year of purification. And I have also felt that this is why, right? Let's purify the toxins in our body, the energies that are holding us back and limiting us, that are keeping our minds active and wasting energy, inefficient, right? Let's pull all of that down. So go ahead and scan your body one more time, and anything that is ready to move in this moment, mark it bright red. You can go from the top of your head all the way to your feet. You don't even need to see it or know it. If you just set the intention, anything that's ready to move that is not serving me can turn to red. And then you bring your visualization, your attention, all the way to your feet. Good. And then you open up your feet and you feel those roots that you've planted. 1,000 feet down, 10 feet down, a mile down, however deep you want to go. And then allow anything that is red to be pulled down into the roots. And you might feel like a tingling in your feet as I say that. Use your breath to help force it out or push it out. And then just allow anything that is red, that is toxic, to move all the way down into the earth and be released. Good. And then just set the intention. If there is more that comes up that you want to move, this suctioning at the bottoms of your feet through the roots will just continue the whole time you're on the call. Right? And again, it's a daily practice. I have a friend who told me once I showed her this, she was in a meeting at work, and she's like, it was so great. Everyone was making me crazy. I just sat there and I ran the energy down to my feet and out into the earth. And she said my whole body just calmed down right in the middle of the meeting. This is daily practice work, right? These are tools that are designed for you to manage your energy in your regular life, not just on this call. And so if you can feel your rooting and know that the earth is always supporting you, you can just release stuff constantly down into the earth. Good. One more big breath. Go ahead and just allow anything that's ready to move just to move. Okay, and then go ahead and relax your body. Take a breath. Take a moment. Okay, so now we get to play with Source, right? It was funny. I always wonder what it's going to be this time. And I had this picture when I was meditating earlier of Source in those around us. So let me philosophize for a moment. So if the belief is true that we are all one and that we all come from one original energy, which is God or Source or Creator or Universe, whatever name you want to give that, and from whatever religion feels aligned for you, there is this energy that runs through all nature, all people, earth, planets, all of it, right? There is one universal pulse or force. And so if that is true and we all come from that, then there is Source inside all of us, inside animals, inside plants, inside trees, right? Inside sunshine. There is always an aligning energy that connects everything. And I was just picturing that for this weekend. I went out to my friend's farm, and there were a group of us all together, and they're just such delightful souls, right? Such delightful people. And you have these interactions when you're in community with one person to another person, and if you're open to seeing Source in them, there's a match to the Source in you. So, for example, the picture I have very clearly in my mind, I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were out on this hill in the grass, and just playing and, like laughing with each other, and we know each other well, so just teasing, and, it was just silly and fun, and the sun was shining, and you could hear birds chirping outside, and there was just this absolute connection between the two of us, right, of I know you, and I absolutely love you, and I will do anything to support you, and I know you will do anything to support me. And it's a bonding, a connection. And I feel that same certainty with God or Source as a physical presence in our lives. So if you can imagine, let's do this visualization today. If you can imagine your favorite outdoor place that you love to go for walks. So it might be the beach, it might be a forest, it might be the mountains, it might be your backyard. It might be the country around where you live. So picture your favorite spot. Put yourself right in it. So visualize yourself time warping right into it, right? So you just arrive right in that place. Land your feet on the ground, root yourself in, just like we did. So feel your roots connecting you all the way down. All right, and then imagine the source can take on the physical form of one of your favorite people. It could be your husband or wife, or your dead or alive, right? It can be your favorite friend, your child, whatever, your pet. Just actually not a pet, let's stick with humans. So if you can just visualize one of your favorite people just arrives right next to you. So it's you standing in your favorite place in the world, in nature, and then this friend or partner right next to you. And imagine you can just hold hands, and you can just start walking. And as you're walking, you don't even need to be looking at them. You can just be looking around and feeling the vibration of, the planet, of the trees, of wherever you are, like the beauty of the moment that you stepped into. And then as you're holding hands with that person next to you, I want you to imagine that through the physical hand, you can feel the energy, the vibration of Source, and you're increasing the power of it little by little. So you are allowing yourself to feel more and more, tiny bit by tiny bit, the fullness, the expansiveness of Source, channeling through this human hand, body that is walking next to you. Yeah, so for some of you it might be like, I don't feel anything. Okay, that's fine. Just imagine you keep walking. Put yourself in the moment. Enjoy the beauty around you. Know that hand, that body is still walking next to you. Okay. And then see if you can allow yourself to feel the full vibration of Source. Yeah, some of you may have to actually stop and look that person in the eye and see how they are bigger than they've ever been, or brighter than they've ever been to you, or happier than they've ever been, right? When Source energy is fully recognized and alive in a human, it's tangible. It is a pulse. It is a visible, physical thing that happens, and you can see it, right? Like, it's magical. I'm sure you have seen this, if not in yourself, in people that you've been around. There's just suddenly a spark that is so fully alive, you can't miss it, right? I'm sure everyone knows or has had that for themselves. So imagine in this moment, as you're in your favorite place with this human next to you who is absolutely feeling the power of Source moving through them, that you get to match or sense the vibration of it in its fullness. If it feels intense, use your breath. Feel the rootedness of your feet. Yeah. And if standing still feels too much, go ahead and start walking again. What I am hoping or allowing space for right now is a baseline, a setting of a point in your body so that you can sense or know the physicalness of Source energy in your everyday world. And humans share that with each other more directly, more intensely than anything else. As much as we love our pets, as much as we love nature, the human depth of emotion and heart connection allows for Source to move even more quickly between people, to be even more tangible, faster between people. And the more you pay attention to it, the more you put your awareness on it, the more powerful it will feel, the more certain you become that Source is always around, that God is always around, that you are always supported. And if you can start to allow that to be a physical feeling as you imagine yourself walking here with a friend and Source just coming into that person's energy space and then coming through into you, you become more and more comfortable with the physical reality. And that develops more trust. And more trust in God or Source expands your space, grows your container, allows all of those around you to also feel that same certainty and trust. So as you put your awareness on it, your attention on it, as you feel yourself validating inside, yeah, there's definitely a buzz. Yes, there's a hum. Oh, I can feel more joy. Right? As you keep validating the physicalness of it, it has more room to expand. It's more certain. It becomes bigger. It becomes bigger. It becomes bigger. And a lot of what is being cleared right now on this planet, what so many healers and guides and teachers are showing humans, all of us earthlings, is that there is this releasing of the distrust, releasing of the fear, and as that happens, more certainty comes in, more love comes in, more expansion happens, more joy can blossom. And this might sound like mumbo jumbo or like woo-woo talk. It is. It absolutely is. And it's also certainty and truth. And so if you can allow the parts that are resonating with you to land inside your body, and just allow, those parts that don't feel quite true, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. When you feel ready, perhaps they will. And if you don't, it's okay. But if you can allow room for more certainty and trust to become a regular part of your life, you create more expansion for yourself. Okay, so you can come back to this image, this visualization as often as you want, right? And check in and allow it to just teach you, allow it to show you as you're ready how to expand and how to become more aware and how to feel more certainty. But in this moment, let's go ahead and bring all of your attention back to here and now. So pull your energy from that visualization back into your physical body. Good. Feel yourself rooting through your feet all the way down. Good. And then use your breath to come all the way down and in. Good. Okay. So the topic of the week. We actually spent a lot more time on those parts than I was expecting, so I don't know how far into this we'll get, but we'll just see. So what I wanted to look at this week are chakras or energy centers in our bodies, and how we run energy, how we feel energy, and then what is perhaps the highest possibility or potential for maximizing that energy in your physical body. And we'll just see how far we get. So when I was looking at it, there's two ways that I believe energy enters your body. One is from the crown, it's from the top. So you have source God energy that comes in through the crown, and it comes down through those top 3 chakras into your heart space. And then there's earth energy, which comes in through the feet, right? The foot chakra, feet chakra, is just starting to become a thing that I'm reading about, but it has always felt true to me, whether we call it that or not, right? The feet are the connection points between your physical body and the earth that you inhabit. And there's a lot of power in how you work with that chakra. You work with those feet to allow energy to move back and forth. So I do think they're worthy of a name, if you want to give them a name of feet chakra. But the more common chakras are the roots, the second and the third, at the bottom half of your body. So when energy comes in through the earth, through your feet, and it comes up into the lower chakras, and it fills all of that up, then it can get to the heart. And if the top is sending down, the bottom is sending up, and everything meets in the heart chakra, what happens is more love is created, more love is pushed out by all of this energy that's flowing down and up into our bodies. It's pushed out, and when more love gets pushed out into the world, it creates more love, and more love, and more love. Right? Anyone who's ever been in a little love puddle or a cuddle group with a few people, you know, the more that add to that, the more fun it becomes, because it's like amplified. And so that feels like the purpose of running energy. It's that we fill ourselves up first, right? We fill our energy centers up first, and when they are full and the heart is open to receiving all this extra energy that's running down and up and meeting in the middle, then all of that energy can go out into the world and raise the vibration of our planet, raise the consciousness of our planet, so that there isn't as much fear. It's just more and more and more love, more and more and more love. There's a lot of talk about politics as we head into the elections in the U.S., and it's very divided, right? It's very polarized on who we should vote for and what needs to happen. And what I feel as the most true thing is that humanity is really exploring love and hate and love and fear and love and contrast. And so this public way of talking about it through politics is allowing space for all of it to start to move and shift and be stirred up so that the love can come highest to the top. So as you play with energy, it's easy to slide into the fear space because it's more familiar, right? It's easy to slide into the judgment and blame and not good enough and whatever the shadowy kind of talk is that we give ourselves. And so the feet being connected to the earth gives you the pathway down to release the fear. And then the open heart gives you the room for more love to like expand and grow and grow and grow and share and share. I don't know if I said that well, but I hope that came across. All right, so let's play with the chakras for the time that we have left. So I want you to, let's start with the crown just for fun. I know often people start with the earth and pull energy up, but we'll just start with the crown for today. So if you can visualize at the top of your head, maybe 2-3 inches above your head, your crown chakra, which is your direct connection to God. Right? So if you can imagine that there's a filter at the top that allows in source energy, God energy, but screens out anything that wouldn't serve you, that would also want to come into your physical energetic space. So you can just imagine there's a little filter at the top of your crown chakra that says only that which will serve me is now coming into my space. And you can feel, if you choose, right, you can feel energy coming as a light, as a warmth. It could be like honey as it comes in, or sparkle like pixie dust, So if you can visualize that that energy from God or Source just arrives, knowing that you're ready at the top of your crown chakra, and you choose to allow it in, and so it starts to enter the porous skin, right, coming down and into the top of your head. And you determine the flow. So you can have a little bit of support from Source or God, or you can have a lot. It can be a fire hydrant, or it can be a little sprinkler. Your choice, right? So as you feel energy coming in whatever visual form you've given it, as it starts to come down through the crown chakra, it hits the top of your head, your scalp, and then it gets absorbed into the top of your head. You can visualize like a lineup of all of these chakras in your body that is aligned straight. So if Source was sitting above your head and Mama Earth was sitting right underneath your feet, they would polarize themselves. They would make themselves straight. And then all of the energy centers in your body, the chakras, are going to align to match that straight pole up and down. Yeah, so if we've been a little out of whack, right, and some parts of our energy centers aren't getting the attention that we normally, that in our highest potential we would give them, in this moment, just imagine you can have everything go straight line. Yeah, good. See how easy that was? Very good. Okay, so feel that Source energy coming in through the top of your crown and into the top of your physical head. And then it's going to hit that sixth chakra, right, the third eye, which is right in the middle of your forehead. Yep, so as the gold comes in, it can rinse or clear out that space, like a rain shower, right? You can just rinse out that space. Good. And then you can feel that same straight line. We're going to bring that energy all the way down through your nose, through the back of your mouth, and into the throat. And so you're starting to move through that whole throat chakra. So from under your eyes all the way to your, right underneath your sternum, that whole throat chakra is just being rinsed with gold. And I think what we're doing today is just aligning and rinsing, right? There's a lot of work you can come back and power up each of the chakras and look at what's happening in each one or clear out some gunk or stories. But in this moment, let's just align and just do a rinse, right? We're just going to run energy all the way down and through and see how that feels. So as you rinse that energy from Source all the way through the throat, what you may find is you're wanting to yawn or cough. If your throat is really blocked, meaning you don't use your authentic voice, your soul voice that has a lot to say, then sometimes that throat can get tight and congested and doesn't feel real good. So as you bring this rinse from Source straight down through the back of your throat, there may be a little clearing of that passage that you physically want to do to support the energy work. Right? So if that's the case, yawn, burp, cough. Allow the energy to move. Good. Use your breath, and then allow that Source energy to keep the straight line all the way through crown, third eye, throat, and it's going to come down into the heart. And as that Source energy hits the heart, it just sort of, what it looks like to me is it kind of just swirls and sits and fills up the heart chakra until you know if you have enough from the bottom coming up. So we're going to leave this visual in the heart space with the energy from Source just kind of coming and running into there and filling it up. And we're going to bring our attention all the way down to our feet. So just allow the Source energy to keep running while we do this. So from the bottoms of your feet, those roots that we created that go all the way down are going to start suctioning up into your feet earth energy. Right? As much or as little as you want. So you can feel your feet pulling from the earth, all of the nutrients, all of the support, all of the energy flow that your body is ready to receive in this moment. And picture that straight line again, right? That straight alignment of the chakras right through your body. So your feet energetically are directly underneath your crown and you're bringing energy from the earth right in through the bottoms of your feet. And you can give it a texture, right? So gold sparkles or brown or honey liquid or a sap from a maple tree. Whatever feels good to you, but pull the energy up. It's a choice. You make the choice. Pull the energy up through your feet. Feel it going all the way through your knees, up into your hips. And then that root chakra is literally the center of your private area. So as for women, your yoni, right? For men, it's like it comes right in the center of your manhood, of your strength. And it comes into that root chakra, which is aligned with your feet and aligned with your head. And in this moment, we're just rinsing out. We're just showering the inside of our bodies. So feel it coming up through the root. And it's just going to rinse out any gunk along the way and dissolve it. And then it's going to come up into the second chakra. So that root is all about safety, security, actually choosing this life on this planet, being here in this body, in this moment. We're going to bring that rinse all the way through into the second chakra. And this is about receiving relationship pleasure, enjoying this life. Right, so feel the alignment of all the chakras and then just rinse the energy through that second chakra. And there might be some big gunk here, right? Like, I don't like to receive, I don't like to be happy, I don't like to be in pleasure, whatever it is. In this moment, just allow it to move, just to try it. You can always come back with all the stories, but just feel the rinse dissolving all of that, clearing out the chakra. And then coming up into the third. So the third is that I am, right? I am here. I am in this life. I am in this body. I chose consciously every single thing. I am creating this life that I'm living. So feel the earth's support running through that third chakra, clearing it out, rinsing anything that needs to go in this moment, dissolving it. And feel that going all the way up through the whole chakra. And as it does that, extra energy from the earth is pushed up into the heart. And then feel the alignment again. So you have the alignment of your feet, first, second, third chakras, heart, all the upper chakras, and then source above. So feel how straight and steady that alignment of the energy flow is. Good. And then as you feel the two meeting, you have this earth energy coming into the heart from the bottom and this source energy that's been flowing into the heart from the top. Just relax your body for a moment and feel the play of the two dancing together, earth and source inside you. Yeah, so allow space for them to meet and connect and integrate and partner and weave through your heart space. And then you can feel as this energy flow from up and down is coming into the heart, you get filled up. Literally, like the energy space of the heart gets filled up, and then you might not feel this right away, but my hope is that you carry it all the way through where you can feel so much is in there that there's extra, there's more that's pouring out, because source isn't stopping the flow from above. The earth isn't stopping the flow from below. And if you don't have an outlet for the extra to go somewhere, it's going to feel really intense in your body. So if you can just imagine the heart opens and it just flows love out, because the love that's flowing out is the extra from source and the extra from the earth. And I trust in source being love and sharing love around the planet. I trust in the earth loving us, right? So you're just the space holder. And as you fill up, love from above and below just flows out from you. So see if you can relax your body and just feel what that love feels like when it flows out. Yeah, if you want to play, you can imagine source is like, yes, Yes, they figured it out, so I'm going to send more love. Look, more. Right? And the earth is like, me too, don't forget about me. And more energy is coming from the earth. And so because you've created this pathway and you've aligned your energy centers and opened them up, Source and Earth can send more. And your physical body becomes this vibration of love that then radiates out to all the people that you touch during your day. Even those you don't touch, it's a vibration, right? It just goes and goes and goes. All right, so just feel that flowing for a moment. Feel your feet rooted in again. Feel the straight alignment of all the chakras, wide awake, flowing energy. Good. All right. I can't believe it's been an hour, but we are at the end of our time together. So my invitation for you is stay in this space if you just want to practice the vibration a little bit longer and anchor it in, right? Really feel, I don't want to use the word lock it in because it's always available. You don't have to grip it or lock it. But if you can kind of anchor it into your physical body, you can stay here and float for a little bit. I'll leave the phone lines open but muted. And if you feel complete, the invitation is to be loved today. Be love. Feel it moving through you. Feel Source. Feel Earth, and just play with it in a new way today. Surprise someone. Do something silly or fun or delightful. Laugh, play, be in the joy of this life and this moment. So good. All right. I am sending tons of love from my very full heart out to all of you today. I will talk with you soon. Much love.